Ken Trahan with Lenny Vangilder. It's our first NBC weekend preview, brought to you by First NBC Bank, with locations throughout the metro area, on the North Shore and beyond. It's First NBC Bank. Well, interesting week. College football, Tulane hits the road to Memphis. The Liberty Bowl, no, they won't run the table.
No, they won't rin the table now. Yeah, I said it was a possibility. Look, they got themselves really in a shootout with Rice and just couldn't get enough points on the board, couldn't get enough stops. Too many mistakes early in the game. They dug themselves too much of a hole. But I don't see this team as one that's just going to say, hey, we're out of the bowl picture now, that we're just going to pack it in. I think, I could see Tulane going on the road and getting this win this weekend. Now, what happens the last 2 weeks, it gets a little bit tough with East Carolina and Houston, but certainly I think they have a great chance this weekend.
LSU, to me, it's all about their mentality. And if they can maintain their edge, if they play like they played last week, they're going to win out. The question is, are they mentally ready to play? Are they motivated now that they're out of the SEC chase, out of the national championship chase? And you say?
This week's the key week. I really think, they could take care of business the final 2 weeks of the season, but this is the key week. This is a pretty good Mississippi State team. Mississippi State, even though that LSU has got a long winning streak in this series, Mississippi State is always, giving LSU a tough time. Even last year in Starkville, it was a very good game. And finally, LSU had to pull away in the fourth quarter. But certainly you can't have the hangover from last week, and that is, any team, not just LSU, any team playing that kind of game, losing the way they did, you would think they would be susceptible to a hangover in this spot, and they've got to be prepared to handle that. And if they are, hey, if they can get this one and get the last two, while yes, they're out of the national championship picture, I don't think they're out of the BCS picture and could perhaps land, in the Sugar Bowl or one of the other games.
State is capable, but when they face good teams the last 2 weeks, they've gotten beaten. So I like LSU certainly to win this game. Where the Saints are concerned, it's do or die. The Falcons are in town. They're not going to win the division even if they beat the Falcons, but we know the history. Under Sean Payton, the Saints have won 8 of 10 against the Falcons. They seem to match up well. The Falcons will be loaded for bear, heavily motivated, still remembering that big loss toward the end of the year last year. Maybe think the Saints tried to score a little bit too much and throw the ball. All that stuff applies. When you get right down to it, though, this is still a pretty good matchup. And if the Saints play to their optimum level at home, they'll have a chance.
I agree. And this is the next month is going to decide the Saints season. You look at these next 5 games, they've got 2 with Atlanta, San Francisco at home, and the Giants in 4 of those 5 games, the other one being at Oakland. But clearly that is the tough stretch of the schedule. If the Saints can endure that, I don't think they've got to win all 5. I'm not sure they've even got to go 4-1. They may just have to go 3-2 and get themselves to 6-7 going into the last 3 weeks of the season, with a chance to maybe win those 3 and get to 9-7, which might be enough to get you into the playoffs in the NFC.
Yeah, they played pretty well against Philadelphia. Bend but don't break, that works. Of course, they were facing a patched-up offensive line that was no good and a quarterback that was inaccurate. They will face neither of the two when they play the Atlanta Falcons. So stay tuned. They're going to have to play their best game of the year if they want to win. And there will be some Falcon fans in the Dome as well coming up. The Hornets coming off of an all-time low in New Orleans for points scored, franchise low, in a game against Philadelphia. Ready-made excuse playing without 3 key players. Gordon will not be around for a while, and he won't be around for a while literally. He's going to Los Angeles to rehab.
Hey, going back to L.A. Apparently they've got better rehab in L.A. than they do in this L.A. So I don't know. That's the ongoing Eric Gordon saga.
Is it really worth it?
Here's the thing with the guy. Even when he comes back, I'm not sure he can even overcome the stigmas that he has hung on himself with some of these. The way this thing has played out over the last basically 12 months now. I mean, the guy has played 9 out of 71 games that the Hornets have played in that span, and it's going to be that number's going to be closer to 100 by the time he finally takes the floor.
Yeah, this team has a very exciting, good front line of talented, tall players. But guard play is another story, and that's why Gordon's so important.
Absolutely. I mean, he's a guy who can score, go get his own shot. He's a terrific talent when healthy, and I don't know, when motivated to be healthy, whatever that is. So let's just sweep that under the rug for a few weeks, and we'll bring it back up when it comes time for him to supposedly be back in 4 to 6 weeks, if that's indeed the case.
Yeah, they got a depleted Philadelphia team without Bynum and Richardson and couldn't beat them. Now they get a bad Charlotte Bobcats team in here Friday night. This is one they have to win.
Absolutely. You've got to take care of the ones. There are going to be games in the course of an 82-game schedule that you say, man, we should have won this game. We let this one get away. And there are also going to be games that, but we had no business winning this game, and we ended up winning this game. I think you could probably put the game at Chicago last Saturday night in that second category. You can certainly put the Wednesday night loss to Philadelphia in the first one.
A reminder, as we close state volleyball championships at the Pontchartrain Center in Kenner, Thursday, Friday, get over there and see some great volleyball, some local teams with great chances to win state championships. And, of course, Sports NOLA TV, Monday night, 6 p.m. on WHNO TV, Channel 20. You won't want to miss that either. Lenny, it's always a pleasure. Have a great weekend.
Same to you. We'll see you Monday.
All right, for Lenny, I'm Kenny. God bless you one and all. See you Monday.